Hello again, my name is T and welcome to my party. So we left off voting for who to kill. There's 2 votes for CHIEMI, 1 vote for Maiko, and 1 vote for Haru. And that just leaves this half of the room needing to vote. And I'm kind of nervous. Like, I like all of these characters, and I don't want any of them to die. Maybe Haru, she's really annoying, but I'm really sad, I'm really nervous. Oribe-san, what do you do with your vote? Haru it is. I'm next, and I'm voting for the nameless old man. Huh? Huh? But why? That last exchange made me realize that he's not rational. You don't need someone like that around. That's so unfair! He regularly said that the wolves are coming even before all this happened. That's more than enough to find him suspicious. Still unfair? I think he's either completely insane or secretly knows something. Have you ever considered that there were feasts before this one? He should have been around for that one at least. But I haven't, and I'm over 70! But I haven't, and I'm over 70! But he could have, no? He's older than you, after all. He could know something, but might be unable to say it because of senility, or maybe hiding it out of malice. With this vote, I might be able to get some info out of him, and if not, he's worthless. Worthless? Is that truly right to hang people? Based on whether they have worth at any particular moment? You say that, but if we continue, we will make no progress tomorrow. What do you mean? Today, Mara will use his power to investigate someone. We'll know the truth about another person. The spider will once again protect Moro. By repeating this, it'll only take 3 times to know who's a wolf and who's not, even if we guess wrong. Really? In one day, we'll hang someone. Someone will get killed by the wolves and the snake will reveal another person. We'll find out about 3 people in one day, and since all 11, besides Takumi and Nosato, are unknown, it'll take 3 or 4 times? Exactly. You've only had to hang 3 people at most. With that in mind, if you don't want to hang those close to you, you should start with those who aren't. It's for the good of Yasumizu. Now, listen here. I'm arguing to maximize the happiness of the majority, Muro. Nosato, are you serious? What? Chie's math only works out if the wolves only kill people the snake hasn't checked. What if they only went after those whose identities were already confirmed? For example, what if they went for you tonight? I don't think I can agree with voting based on such a flawed conclusion. Don't you think you're being too easy on the idea of killing your own? Wow, don't you think you're being too nice on killing your friends and family? Come on, just throw them to the pit! I haven't said anything about killing my own. I never said that. Aw, man. Well, there are some mistakes there, but we're already voting. I'm leaving your decisions to you. Next up is Rikaku Umatsu, right? Going by seating order, I'm next. How troubling. I don't have enough info to go on. Why are you so calm? I'll make a mistake otherwise. That's why you and Mom should calm down. Please. Hold on, Yasu. Sorry to cut you off, but I just had an idea. What? Can the monkeys reveal themselves? Why would they? Yasunaga and Sir Makishima said it's best if they don't present themselves. Well, I was thinking the same thing at first, but what's the point of the monkeys then? They just know who the other monkey is, right? It's not like they get any new info later. That's true. The only use I can think of them is for catching fake snakes. But they can confirm who the other monkey is. So they can be confirmed as non-wolves just as easily as those investigated by the snake, right? What if they lie? Lying would be too risky. For example, I'm not a monkey, but if I went, "Hello, I'm a monkey," what would you do? I'd say, "Tell me who the other one is." Exactly, but I couldn't say it because I'd be lying. Now, for example, if I said, "Alright, it's Mochi," then... How did you know? Don't joke around. Well, I can't prove it, can I? I see. But what if he played along because he thought being a monkey would make him safe? The real monkeys would call him out, and then we'd hang all four one after another to be sure. That's... The rule of thumb is that only the wolves would try to lie to survive, so that's the right thing to do, isn't it, Nasato-san? That's true. Once you clarify that's what would happen, you shouldn't get anyone pretending to be a monkey. I see. It's too dangerous for both humans and wolves. It's just not worth it. Does everyone understand? Looks like it. Then please name yourselves. We'll lose 2 suspects. Right here! Oh, right here! What is it, Mochi? I'm saying that I'm a monkey. You're not just dragging out the joke? Yep, I'm a monkey. So, like we agreed, who's the other monkey? Meiko! Huh? Meiko, is that true? What? When you woke up, was there something on your stomach? There was! A monkey! She knows the symbols? Yes, I taught them to her, alongside prayer to Shinai. We have any other monkeys? Doesn't look like it. That confirms it. I see, so they really are monkeys. Crap, so I wasted my vote. I think he should be given a do-over. You want to bend the rules? It's best to make it impossible to retract votes. We'll have too many people changing their vote at the last minute. Good point. Fine. Sorry about interrupting. Back to Yasu. I'll vote for the old wolf man. My reason is that staying silent and doing nothing indirectly helps the wolves. I'm next. 1,000,000 votes on Teiba. What? 1 vote each. 1 vote each. Then 1 vote for Teiba. I found it weird that she just voted for CHIEMI out of nowhere. What are you saying, boy? That's what you young'uns are, such good-for-nothings. I'm next. Alright. 1 vote for the old guy. So, even you went for him. Shut up. My reasons is that I don't have any better ideas right now. That's it. Haru's turn. Oh, I'll vote for Uematsu. You had to have been the one who brought the corruption. No, I'm only here to fulfill my role. Then just do that and take the corruption. You're not doing that because you're a wolf, aren't you? Watch your tongue. I cannot disagree. I am powerless. You don't have to humble yourself before these people. It's your turn. The person who voted for you must be suspicious. Listen to this guy. I will vote for Yasunaga Oribe. You! I do not find him suspicious, but I just had a thought. There would be no worst possible occurrence than were he to be a wolf. I did say a lot. I can't blame you for thinking that I'm just tricking people. But I don't think I said anything wrong. At least I didn't intend to. I don't mind if you vote for me. I believe that votes to express your outlook are important as well. The old wolf man is at the top with 3 votes. You there, child. You're the last one. Meiko, do you understand? I need to choose the wolf. Yes. Her. Me? Wait, seriously? You're scary. I'm scared of you too. We need a final vote. The 9 people besides CHIEMI and the old wolf will vote for one of these 2. The wolf is coming. The results are in. Old Wolfman, 7 votes. CHIEMI, 2 votes. Everyone besides Tiiparty and Maiko voted for the wolf guy. Shut up. Are you ready, sir? He's just like blank stared, like, I'm gonna die. Watch, he like reveals himself to be the spider. We all decided this. Every one of us is equally guilty. Better get ready, old man. Do you understand? I need time. Huh? Need to clean up. You want to take care of your belongings? I believe we can allow that much. What if he's planning to escape? Haru! Then I'll keep an eye on him. You can do that? As soon as he returns, we'll take him to the Saranaga. Rikako-san, where's the rope? Right here. Ooh. Old man, I mean, I think out of all of them, I would have picked the old man. Like, the risk factor is very low because, I mean, he's old. He got to live a nice, full, long life. Like, the rest of them are like kids or young adults who have a lot of life left to live. So I guess they would be a little more scared, a little more agitated to be killed. I mean, you're being killed. Obviously, it's not a good feel, but I think if we didn't know and when push comes to shove, if the suspicious people are older people, I don't know, it sounds bad. You shouldn't kill your elderly, but they have already lived a good life. And, you know, they should be grateful. That's bad. Don't tell anyone I said that. And we continue. As I whiled away the time with some fruitless contemplation, I heard noises outside that brought me back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. People were shouting loudly.
どうした?
What's wrong? I opened the window and shouted. It was facing the cliff, so I couldn't shout to the settlement directly. They probably didn't hear me since I didn't get a response.
何があった?
What happened? So I shouted even louder. Fusashi, stay right where the fuck you are! Huh? Was I about to get punched?
何があったんですか?
What happened? I could only repeat myself.
今危ないんです.
It's dangerous right now! It was?
どういうことなんですか?
What do you mean? I didn't get a reply this time, only heard several voices clamoring. Then I heard someone hurry up to the dorm stairs.
誰だ?
Who's there? I got no response again. What was happening here? Someone definitely was close. It just made me more tense. Oh, Haruaki!
またチエミ
Wow,
たちか?
CHIEMI yet again? What a twist!
何それ?
What's that supposed to mean? Sorry, but you should stay right there now. This might be really bad. Her voice cut off by a scream, though it was more like an intense cursing. It was Takumi-san's voice, no doubt about it. CHIEMI left without saying another word. Oh, hold on! Open up! What a juicy mess. I fought the door, but it showed no signs of opening. I can't help! Damn it! Shit. Like hell I was gonna stay out of the loop any longer. Turning around, I went to open the window and decided to try jumping out. Though I was on the second floor, it wasn't too high of a drop. It'd make my legs a little numb, but so what? I jumped out without any hesitation. I properly bent my knees so I didn't hurt myself at all. Then I ran to the settlement where I'd heard the voices come from. I quickly understood the cause of Takumi's shouting. They were cries of despair. The reason was somewhere downhill, along the way to the graveyard. It was a small grove of low trees with a carpet of leaf mold below it. It would have been hard to see if there was no mist. You could hear running water nearby. I couldn't see where it was coming from, but it was probably an irrigation channel for the paddy fields. There was a small crowd gathered. I peeked through the space between them. There were bodies. 2 of them. One was of the old man, the other was of that of a child. Though their appearances were vastly different, each was in a similar state. They lay on the ground with their hands over their stomachs, utterly still and covered in blood. These were the corpses of the old man who cried wolf and Chikamochi Komoshida. What? They just died? Why?
何が?
What happened?
あった.
Fusashi, weren't you in the dorm?
さっきまで
I
いま
was
した.
until now. Bullshit, you're the one who did this, aren't you?
違いますよ.
No, I'm not. I just came out of the dorm. I even talked to
チエ
CHIEMI.
ミちゃんと話だってした.
Yeah,
Haruaki-san
it's not
じゃないよ。
Haruaki,
Takumi-chan.
Takumi. Then who did this?
そんなことより
Forget
手
that.
当ては
We need to treat... There's no point. Don't touch them.
手当てをすれば間
We
に合う
might
かも
still
しれな
make
い.
it. They've lost all their blood. Their stomachs are open and their guts are all over. What kind of treatment can bring them back, huh? You know of one? Go on, then say it! There was nothing I could say in response. There were 5 of us on the scene. CHIEMI, Takumi, me, as well as Yasunaga Oribe, who was vomiting on a nearby bush, and Rikaku Umatsu, who was watching the remains from a distance. Most were proactive, and I could see why. They were here, but Rikaku Umatsu felt a bit out of place. But then, I remembered that we were already pretty short-handed. What happened? Who did this, damn it? Look here. She pointed to the old guy's clothes. There was gatherings of fur all over his garment. A werewolf? If that was the culprit, then this was the work of the corruption. Was that what she was saying? No. This was completely different from how the others had died. The fur proved little.
傷を見せてください。
Let me see the wound.
触るなって
I
言ってん
told
だ
you
ろ
not to touch it.
これは明らかに
But this
これ
is
までと違
completely
う。
different.
知ったようなことを
Quit
言うな
acting like you know shit.
これまで何
You
も
never
分からずじまいだったくせに
You never find out anything. Gosh.
そうやって見ることをやめ
But
て
if
し
we
まえば
stop trying to look,
わかるもの
we
もわ
won't
からなくな
understand
る。
anything at all.
白々しい
Quit
ん
the
だよ
act,
よそ者
outsider. Takumi, calm down.
うるせえ
Shut up. Everything went to hell when he got here. If he didn't come, none of this.
あいつがいなけりゃ
I felt like he was gonna grab me, but I could clearly see the intense emotion whirling in his eyes. I thought I could get him to trust me, but now it was all back to square one.
もち
Mochi, why?
どうしてだよ。どうして。
Why? Yasunaga calmed down a bit and forced the remains of his dear friend, his voice shaking. Oh, faced. He didn't force him to do anything. The expressions on the corpses were eerily pale and emotionless. Even a look of agony was absent. It almost looked like he was smiling. Did his face muscles simply go limp?
これは
This isn't the corruption.
どうしてわかる
How do you know?
どいてくれれば
I'll
証明
prove
で
it
き
if you
る。
let me pass. He glared at me with intense hatred before letting me through.
きつい人は見ない方がいい。
Look away if you can't stomach this kind of thing. I walked up to the old guy's corpse. He looked as distant as always, but the lack of blood flowing in his face simply made his appearance even more creepy. I avoided looking at him while I grabbed his back and rolled him onto it. With a wet sound, the entrails spilled from the wound in his stomach. Barf. How horrid.
みんな無理するな。
Don't force yourselves, people. Except you, Takumi.
あなたも見
Look.
てください。
The stomach was clearly torn open by a blade.
これは超自然
This
的な
isn't
天
some
罰や何かじゃ
supernatural
ない。
punishment. It was
人
caused
間
by a
が道具を
person
使って
wielding a
作った
weapon.
傷だ。そして凶器
And
が見
since
つから
there's no
ない
weapon
以上
nearby, it means that someone
誰かが意図的
intentionally
に持
removed
ち去
it
っ
from
た
the
か
scene.
隠した。
それをやった
So,
誰かが
Yasumizu has someone who's both armed and
凶器
capable
も
to
どこ
act
かに
like
隠
this?
されてるってのか
宴の開始
Please
から
give
今
me
に
the
至るま
details
で
of
の
what
流れを
happened during the
詳しく
feast.
説明して
What
くだ
led
さい。
to this? With several people here to tell me, I ended up with a decent grasp of how today's feast went. Kiyonosuke had suggested they choose to kill by vote. The wolf guy and CHIEMI ended up with the same amount of votes, resulting in a tiebreaker vote. Most ended up voting for the wolf guy, sentencing him to death. He said he wanted to take care of some things, so he and Chikamochi went out, while the rest stayed where they were.
本当にその二人以外
Were
は外
they
に出なか
really
った
the
んで
only
すか。
ones who left?
間違いねえ
Yeah, the feast was still going on at that point. Them leaving was an
じじいと近
exception.
持ちが出たのが特別だったんだ
二人は戻ってくる
You
予定
expected
だ
them
っ
to
た
come。back and resume the feast.
その後
What
宴が
would you
再
have
開
done
される
then?
予定だった。
That isn't something we can tell an outsider.
いいでしょう。
Alright, but anyway, they didn't come back. How long did you wait for them?
1時間は経ってなかったろ
No more than an hour.
その後
We started to worry and we went out to search. Found them less than 10 minutes.
ものの10分もしな
So
いう
the
ちに
culprit was one of
見つかりました。
culprit was one of those not present. CHIEMI, Takumi, Yasunaga, Rikaku. The five in the hall, Masato, Kaori, Maiko, Haru, and Tei simply couldn't be responsible.
数分
So someone killed the two, changed into some clean clothing, and came back to pretend to keep searching? That's impossible.
捜索中
Did you see each other when searching? No, we split up to cover more ground.
一旦お堂に戻りましょう。
Let's return to the hall. We went to the hall. Kiyonosuke kept watch and confirmed that no one besides the victims and the search party had left the building. That limited the potential murderers to the search party, and I asserted that I was still in the room when it all happened, and they believed me, for now. Though Takumi continued to suspect that I used some sort of trick to escape and commit the murders. Well, that was fair, considering everyone else was with them, but I knew I wasn't the culprit. That left only one possibility. They died right after they left the hall, when somebody removed the weapon. You're still the only one who could have done it. I'm telling you, I heard him in his room. I say it as much as I have to. I'm innocent, and since I am, something else had to be responsible for their deaths. I see. You're avoiding using the word murder. You noticed? I am. As it stands, this could be a suicide, death by illness or poisoned, followed by desecration of the corpses and removal of the weapon. How would doing something like that benefit us? If you ask me, things became much simpler if we assumed you and Serizawa are partners in crime. Don't you think? I don't know, but doing this wouldn't benefit me either. Really? Tell me, is there any proof you didn't know each other before this? Huh? We didn't, obviously. But what does that have to do with anything? The people here believe in an eerie legend. You could have come here to take advantage of that and pretend to be monsters to murder them for your enjoyment. Please stop. There are some lines you shouldn't cross. Stop this, all of you! Tei Yamawaka walked out of the hall. I could see Haru Makishima, Maiko, and Kaori Orbe behind her. That made a total of 10 survivors, 9 if you included me who hadn't participated in the feast. Whoever killed Chikomochi and the Elder, they went against the laws. Shinai will subject them to the corruption. She put her hands together in prayer and faced the peak of the mountain Shinai at the opposite side of the Saranaga. Strangely enough, that was enough for everyone to fall silent. Rikaku Umatsu joined in, and Maiko copied her. This was the settlement's way of solving things. They gave up on discourse and just left it in the hands of the higher power. Ba-chan, what do we do now? One has already spilled blood for the day. The elder has died. Let's end the feast for today and clean up. Alright, Yasunaga, help out. I can. You just sit still. The situation was only getting worse. Ooh, this is super weird. Like, they left together. They were the only ones that left, and they died. Presumably from a bleed. I mean, I was the only one chilling in my room, but they locked me in there and checked that I was locked in there. And when I peeked my head out the window, they saw me, so it's like, how would I get back? I don't know. Soon after that, it was time to shelter, so everyone retreated to their houses. Takumi had entered my room and boarded my window completely shut. If you're not the culprit, something's gonna happen even if you're locked in. His words were harsh, but there was a hint of composure. He might have actually believed that I wasn't the one who did it, or maybe he found peace in the idea that the mountain would punish the culprit. Or perhaps he just believed it was the work of something supernatural. Whatever the case, he was dwelling less and less on the matter. Was the wolf guy a wolf? I had no idea whether that was plausible. Assuming he wasn't, two of the remaining 9 were wolves. With Kiyanosuke being confirmed human, Takumi being the snake, and Michael being a monkey, there were a whole 6 suspects. Thanks to my advice, CHIEMI suggested the monkeys reveal themselves, and they turned out to be Chikomochi, Kamoshido, and Michael. Though Mochi had just died, that was a heavy blow. Him being a confirmed non-wolf was one reason, but more than that, he was one of the few people here who actually talked to me without restraint. He was somewhat of an oddity compared to the rest of the people here, but I did find him to be a funny guy, or a fun guy. I'd like to get back at whatever injustice had stolen his life. Clearing my head, I resumed thinking. Since she was acting suspicious today, Takumi would investigate Haru. Tomorrow, we'd have only 5 suspects. That'd give them decent chances of picking out the 2 wolves. It seemed to me like it wouldn't be that hard to find the murderers, who would surely be shaken by what they had done. And then, the outed wolf, not wanting to die alone, would reveal their partner. That was the most optimistic way to look at it. From a pessimistic standpoint, though, the situation was absolutely terrible. 4 people had died today. In a normal Feast of the Yomi Purge, it had to be 1 per day, 1 per night. That was double that. If things hadn't gone so well in the forest, even Haru Makishima might have died, not to mention the dreadful state of Kaori Obe was in. I was told their relationship had gotten worse. Kaori was in no state to prepare food, so it was likely that nobody had eaten anything today. The hunger would only worsen everyone's morale. It was best for them to prioritize getting a proper meal tomorrow. Even so, there was no guarantee we wouldn't get any more irregular deaths. For example, someone at their wits' end could attack a wolf suspect despite the threat of the corruption. If they ended up losing more humans while the number of wolves stayed the same, the humans would be done for either tomorrow or the day after. Escape. I'd been entertaining the idea ever since lunch. The path was ruined and I had to travel through an undeveloped grove, but I hadn't run into anything supernatural there when searching for Haru. Maybe I could get out as long as I watched where I was going. I also had Saranaga as the other option. Everyone here hated it, but that just made it less likely for me to get caught. Going down a misty, rocky cliff was dangerous, but at least it was a one-way road. I just had to be careful I didn't get taken by the currents, and it was definitely better than just staying here and dying. However, perhaps even suggesting that was dangerous. According to Rikaku Umatsu, the effects of the corruption were limited to the one who broke the laws, so you could escape then by killing yourself. However, if someone said they wanted to escape the village, the punishment would likely go to both the one attempting it as well as the ones who allowed it. The escape would surely become a hell of an experience then. However, there was an optimistic view of this situation. Something was actually here. Something abnormal was here in Yasumizu, killing and menacing its people using abnormal methods. At the very least, Yashitsugu Oribe, who went to face it, suffered a horrible death. The superstitions weren't baseless, and it was best to look at the situation from that angle. My plan of escape contradicted that. But then, how could I prepare for whatever was to come? The best I could think of was trying to familiarize myself with Fujiyoshi's superstitions. Perhaps I could find some sort of weak point or hint that could lead me to their identity? I prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. Sorry, that wasn't my best. It's hard to do those parts. The action rhyme they did was obviously referring to the Feast of the Yomi Purge. I couldn't remember all the lyrics, but I felt like there was quite a lot of info there. Perhaps there were more hints for the feast in Yasumizu's culture and general area. I felt I had to talk to Rikaku Umatsu. She was an adult who seemed more involved in Fujiyoshi's prayers and stuff than most. Indeed. Oh, I needed to arm myself with more info by tomorrow morning. That, along with the proper progression of the feast, were my only ways to survive. About today's feast. They must have decided who to hang. Oh, they must have decided to hang the wolf guy because they didn't care about him all that much. Simple as that. Sure, it was important to get rid of the participants who weren't cooperative. However, the fact that we lost 6 people, but they still hadn't gone beyond he or she is kind of shady was pretty bad. Yesterday, they wouldn't have hung anyone for such a petty reason. Well, the problem was they hadn't hung anyone at all so far. Then again, it wouldn't be a good thing to give the impression that it was okay to kill people just for seeming shady. This place was regressing back to a feudal, superstitious mental state. If there was something that could stop them from sinking there, it would be an outsider like me. I steeled my resolve and waited for the night to pass. Good evening. Oh no, Chiemi is in our room again. What will happen? I'm so bad at closing these, but we will see next time. So, this is gonna be tacky, but like, comment, and subscribe, dogs, because it's gonna be a wild ride next episode. Okay, bye.